and new developments. We should avoid that shallow mind, that shallow thinking. We should start thinking deep. How are we going to generate money? How are we going to solve these problems? You understand? We have
Good afternoon to our viewers, our listeners from KMU TV. I'm your host, Heinsford Ng'ong. Joining me this afternoon is Honorable Carestone Mupaile, who has served as the former Commerce and Trade Minister, also as Entertainment and Recreation Minister. Welcome, Mr. Honorable. Welcome, Mr. Carestone Mupaile. Thank you very much. Okay. So, Mr. Mupaile, as you may be aware, most union leaders or presidents that we've actually had have talked about a lot of things, of which some of them they just talked about them during their manifesto nights, even during their campaigns.
yes,
But those things were not done or acted upon.
yes.
Yes. So our listeners or the student community would actually like to know. They would want to know how you will you ensure that the student concerns are not only heard but acted upon, because you are there, you are their mouthpiece, you are their link between you and the management.
Exactly.
So are you just going to be seated there, just hear their concerns and not act, like we have observed in the previous unions that have been around here from the time we were here? Or are you going to act upon? How are you going to ensure to say they are not just heard but even acted upon?
Uh, First and foremost, me, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a businessman. So there is one principle that we believe in as entrepreneurs. Before you start any business, understand the business. You cannot just start something that you do not have a proper plan on it. So leadership is about sacrifice. I've served. I've been serving as the entertainment minister. Sometimes I would find myself organizing an event, missing a lot of tests, missing quizzes because of what sacrifice. Leadership is about sacrifice. So leadership is not just about having a position to say no. Our president, this is our president, and you are seated there. You are supposed to sacrifice. If you to take you to work 01, you need to wake up and work for the what? For the students. So we ensure that all the time that I deserve, that the student deserve, are being done what? Being allocated to them. Sacrifice. And through sacrifice, I'm pretty sure to say most of the things can be done what? Can be assured. Sacrifice, proper plan, vision, and action.
So, Honorable Mupaile, so there has been this growing concern among the student community,
Yes, yes.
where we believe resources have been misused. They have
Exactly.
been
Yeah,
misused.
yeah.
Um, People will call for events, call events. The events are successful, but when it comes to the books of finance,
Mm-hmm.
we are trying to understand how was the money used, because that's not our money, or that's not the students. I mean, that's not the union's money. But that's not the president's money. That's the money that belongs to the student population. So there have been instances where if an event is successful, but when you go to account for these books of accounts, you discover to say almost every union that has been in place has always been saying we never made a profit. They all keep on saying they made a loss. They
Yes.
made a loss. They
Yes.
made a loss. So the student community, our listeners and our viewers,
Mm-hmm.
they would like to know, Honorable Mupaile, how are you going to prevent the misuse of student funds? Yes. And you can also just highlight what systems are you going to put in place to make sure that no resource that belongs to the students is misused. Because that has been the case. You cannot avoid that.
Mm-hmm.
That has been the case.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you what systems are you going to use to prevent the misuse of those resources that belong to the students?
That is a very important question, and that's the most question that I was waiting for. Uh, Mr. Ensford, um, the misuse of money, at first I said Kamuso has over, when you collect our subscription fees, over about 65,000 kwacha, less than 70,000 kwacha. That is the money that we collect. So now where the problem is we keep on getting and we don't do what? Replace. That is the problem. And you would find that in the time when we had the President, His Excellency Mr. Brian Chongobwadia, they left, I don't know, it should be 2,000 kwacha in the coffers. You've been in union and you understand all these things. The time when we had Chime, you would find again that there was no money that was there. Should be 15,000 kwacha or 16,000 that kwacha that we left in the coffers. This year, if you go to the finance minister, they will tell you that we have less than 20,000 kwacha in the coffers. The problem is we do not have ways and means initiative to do what? To generate more money. Believe you me, this money that we have as Kapasamakasa University Student Union is just too little to solve the problems that we are facing. That's why the students, they don't see where, how the money, how their money works. Why we do not have something that generates money? I talked in the first place, I mentioned about external collaboration, PPP, private public partnerships. We are an entity. It means we can also do a lot of collaborations with other people. We need to come up with business ventures that will be generating money. We have fish ponds. The management has fish ponds. We can talk to them, we dialogue. We get one of the fish ponds. We implement what? Fish ponds. We are making money out of that. If with my mathematics, you find that one fingering is one kwacha. If we buy 3,000 fingerings, it means we'll spend 3,000. 2,000 for feed, and the rest we'll just spend 7,000. And when we get the money, we'll find that we make profit more than 55,000 kwacha at the end of the year. And from that 55,000 kwacha, we can even pay money to the students on part-time, at least one course for each, so that the students are able to see how their money is working. It is not all about going to the SRC, you sit and say, where are the refreshments? You are drinking drinks, you are drinking water, whereas the students are doing what? They are suffering. We need to put their needs first. We have Animal Science Society president just some months back, they had a port. They have made money. What can make Kamus not to do the same? We have farms. Look at sustainable agriculture. They have land there. They are making money. We can introduce Kamus farms and talk to SIDCO. That is external collaborations. We talk to them. They can be providing what? Fertilizers and new developments. We should avoid that shallow mind, that shallow thinking. We should start thinking deep. How are we going to generate money? How are we going to solve these problems? You understand? We have a lot of people that are doing business on campus, and it is so congestive that in the rooms that they are, even if we go to the handbook, it is not allowed. We can implement what we call KMU supermarket. We just talk to the contractors, to people from Tanzania or anywhere here in Chinside. We buy those containers. We implement a supermarket, even near X, that side. When we do that, you find that we'll be making money. People will be renting. If someone wants to open a takeout restaurant, we have a lot of business entrepreneurs, including women. Like I will talk about Nance from W Hostel there. She's business minded. We need to support those. How are we going to support them? Is to make sure that we bring something where they'll be generating money from. People that are doing saloon, we can also make a platform for them. People that have groceries, we can make a platform for that. When we implement that KMU supermarket, we'll believe me, you'll find that we'll be making money through the rentals that will be doing what? They'll be paying, they'll be paying to us. So that is how we should be thinking. And by doing that, if we are making money, we are not just getting. Because from the time we collect our money in January, our funds in January, by the time we reach August, you find that there's nothing in the coffers because you don't have something to replace. So we ensure that we work on that, and also we are not only helping ourselves, we are promoting entrepreneurship, we are promoting also and helping those students that are on part-time. So that is one way that we can help and solve that problem. And also we need to work on accountability and transparent. You understand? We need to make sure that we work on accountability and transparent. Students should know how their funds are working. If you to take us creating something, we can talk to ICT guys. They create something where our students will be submitting their suggestions. We should be asking, consulting from them. What are we going to do with this money? How can we we bring the board? They should be feeling part and parcel in decisions that we are making. I'll be ensuring that the finance minister, there is no money that can be raised without what? Without me, my consent. I should know how the money is working. And when it comes to organizing events, it's all about discipline. You have to understand that you're leading the students, so put their interest first. I organized Valentine's. We made a profit from that. You understand? We made a profit out of the event that we made in the history of Kapasamakasa University Student Union. So it's all about discipline and putting the interest of the students first.
So, Mr. President, okay, yes, I, I like your response, but your response has been based mostly on the development and the new ideas that you have.
Yes.
But what I want to understand is, how are you going to prevent the misuse
Of funds.
of the resources by union leaders? Because you will not work in isolation, or you won't work alone.
Exactly.
You will work with a team,
Yeah, yeah.
your cabinet. So how are you going to prevent that misuse amongst union leaders?
I'm sure I mentioned this just that I talked about a lot of things. I mentioned it in my explanations to say the finance minister is the one in charge of the coffers. So let's say I'm the entertainment minister, I go to the finance minister. You ask me to say, how much do you want? No, I need the 4,000 kwacha. Oh, 4,000 kwacha. How have you planned? How are you going to make profit out of this? This is what we do. And I like the leadership skills of Mr. George Silungwe, the outgoing Minister of Finance. We should be ensuring that the minister will present a proper budget. And also he should show us how he's going to make that money, how he's going to spend the money. Auditing, serious auditing committees. We don't just want auditing committees by mouth to say, no, we are going to form this. When you leave the SRC, you forget about it. So next day, we ensure that auditing committee is working hand in hand with anyone that is holding the finances. Thank
Union activities.
you.
Most of the students are not well informed. They are not aware
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because most of them maybe we don't know what the challenge can be. But as much as the student community is concerned, students are less informed of the student union activities. So we would like to know, how will your government, or how will you as a president, union president, keep the students legally informed about union activities and finance?
Okay. So on that one, the most important thing is communication. So it will take us to create, if it will take us to create suggestion box where the students will be dropping their complaints, their ideas, their initiatives, we can do that. That is very simple. Engaging the students into communication, it doesn't take anything. All what we need is to ensure that there is a procedure, there is a system that they can be using so that they can be able. If it will take us to be organizing meetings where we have a workshop and the students are able to talk about the things that they are facing and also provide solution, we'll do that. We'll do that.
Okay, thank you for that response, Honorable Carestone Mupaile. So we would also like to understand, because it's not every time that you request for something
Yeah, yeah,
from management, your external collaborators, wherever you may want a service or a good from. But in a situation where you request or you demand something from the management, then management rejects your request or your demand, how will you respond to that? Because the students know to say it's not everything that you can demand a request for that should be given. So how will you respond when management or administration rejects the student's demand or request? Just say no.
Is one topic that I liked when I was in grade 7. Human rights. Human rights. Very important. Very important. Even at the company, most of the people have even lost employment, but they didn't do anything wrong. So the management are people that understand the rights of the students. We also understand our rights. So we go to them, we dialogue, We talk to them to say this is what the students need. The stoves are not working. If you go to all the rooms, you find that to the apartments, you find that maybe just one apartment in each floor or two apartments in each floor are working. So those we have the rights, we talk to them. I believe in one thing. There's only two ways that you can get things, in a easy way and a hard way. We go to them in a easy way. We say we want this and this. We want this and this to ensure that as the students need this, people have been crying about water. You're coming from fourth floor. Why was they there? People cry about water. So what is it that we can do? Is it that we don't have enough water? We need to sit down and talk. Is it that we don't have enough water? Is it because of the distance? What can we do? If it will require them buying more tanks, we ensure that we advocate for that. More tanks are implemented and the solution is done what? Is solved. So first we use the easy way. They don't cooperate with us, then we ensure that we do it the other way. I'm not talking about conflict. I'm talking about dialoguing with them. We talk to say this is the problem, and we are entitled to do this because of what? Human rights. We are entitled. We have rights as students. So that is one way that we can solve that problem, Mr. Heinsford.
So you haven't identified. I've heard you've talked about an easy way
Yes, yes.
and the hard way.
Mhm.
So we'd just like to be clear. Give a clear distinction with examples. What an easy way and a hard way.
Okay,
Give a distinction between the two.
so there is what we call non-confrontational approach, and also what we call peaceful protest. We talk to them. We need this. There's no power by the hostels. We are facing challenges of what? Of power. A week a student is not studying, we can demonstrate a peaceful protest. We have right to do that. We negotiate with them. It's not working. We do a peaceful protest so that the things that we want are worked on. That's a solution that we can do. And also, I believe in the other thing is some people where your power ends is where someone's power starts from. I'm the entertainment minister, but not entertainment minister to Monakupika people. You understand? I'm the entertainment minister, you're not the entertainment minister for the whole Zambia. So I have where I end from. So we talk to them, we can engage some other stakeholders and how they can do what? They can help us. Yes.
So under peaceful protests, in as much as you may think that that can be the way that you can use in order for you to get what you want, but to be honest with you, peaceful protests may turn into chaos.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
If you get me right, that becomes the last option. Because me, I believe in, talking and negotiating. You need to sit down, you table the issues out. Using power does not solve anything. It's not about the board, how giant you are, then that simply means that that's how the problem is going to be solved. No. It's about what? A solving problem, sitting down, analyze the problem, where is the issue problem. You can even advise. Where advice is what is needed. And when they fail to understand, even when you go to the Bible, even if you go to the Bible, it says, when you go to your brother and your brother fails to listen, what you do? Invite another one. Just like that. So that is how we work. Yes.
okay. So if the pressure exists between the students and the management, how do you respond to that? Like there is pressure between the two, because these are two different entities.
Mhm.
So how do you strike a balance between the two with
Uh,
your side?
in that one, I would still stand with the students because they are the ones that I'm saving. So I have to ensure that I protect their rights and also ensure that their needs are being put first before anything else. I'm a leader, but without the support from the students, there are things that I cannot do alone. So that's why we need them. So we just need the engagement of the student to solve the problems that might happen or that might come.
So during your tenure in office,
Yes.
there might be things that you might feel to say you might have achieved by the end of the academic year or your tenure in office.
Mhm.
So what would you project? Some things that you were actually shocked to say, I will achieve this and this. You know from yourself. You
Exactly.
know what are those things that you feel to say, I would have achieved, and the students will remember me for this.
Okay. First and foremost, I've been here for 3 years now. Came in 2023, 2024, and this is 2025. There are a lot of things that I've seen which were not there, and now they are there. There are a lot of things that the students need, and they are not happening. So once we are put in office, people have been crying, students have been crying about the past. So we ensure that there is a proper system to ensure that the students they are not being congested. If it require us to have a new bus, once we are put in office, we ensure that these things are implemented. And the other thing I would talk about that most of the students complain about is about the ZUSA. You know, our students go there to participate in ZUSA games, and yet there are some things, important key points that are not worked on, and it is challenging. I'll talk about here. We have a lot of sports that if you go to handbook, there's even karate, there's even boxing, but we don't see them here. So we need to ensure that all disciplines, it is a mandatory to ensure to do that they go to ZUSA. You understand? All disciplines must attend ZUSA. We are aware to say some of, and also on the ZUSA games, the students when they go there, they don't just go there to sit. They go there to do what? To represent their school, and also not only representing their school, they go there to play. It means they get tired. So the increment of also mere ZUSA allowance must be introduced. I have a hint. I don't know if it could be true that our friends from CBU they get about over 3,000 kwacha. And if you ask our students from here, it is not. It is even less. They are less than 1,000 kwacha. So work on that one. And also students that go for ZUSA. Someone has gone to represent a school, and you find that no lecturer has given their colleagues a test, and him because he was not there, he won't. But he was representing the school. So that also is going to come to an end. When someone goes, even in secondary schools, when we are going for what's this? Where you go for sports, where you gather for sports, they call it what? Mazone. You go for zones. Yes, you go for zone games. We used to, you find that a teacher won't give you a test. You wait for those people to come back, or sometimes you give you a test, and then those will be given ample time to do what? To prepare themselves, because they don't just go there on their own. So we have the rights. So I will ensure that ZUSA, more people must be going there, even supporters must be going for ZUSA, a specific bus just for supporters. Mr. Heinsford, sometimes people don't help because they don't know what they are doing, because they are lacking support. Imagine you are playing, let's say you are playing volleyball, and then work shooter, work spiker, and you know our friends are from Unza. Eh? Hapo peni hapo. Power shishita. Can you play? No, you lose what? You lose confidence. Eh? Chishuteni, chuchine. So we want also to ensure that our students accompany our fellow players that will be going that side. Even when a child falls down, okay, even when a child falls down, now if you just cry for that child, she won't cry. So we need motivation and support. So we ensure that all sports disciplines are in attendance. Introducing more sports here, we need that. And also look at this is a university, and look at the football pitch that we have. We need to work on this. Recreation facilities are needed. It is so unfair and healthy our students to be playing a basketball and volleyball on concrete floors. It is so embarrassing. Eh? Eh? So we will ensure that these things come to an end by doing what? By doing external collaborations. If it will take us, we can just talk to ZNS. We talk to them. They come and do landscaping, bush clearing. We implement our own what? Facilities. We can even host ZUSA. We can host that. So I will ensure that I work on that. And the other thing that I would love to work on is on the academics. So on the academics, term 3, please, that one should remain for the visions. A lot of people have gone on part-time because of pressure. So internet connectivity, these things must be implemented. Business ventures, we need to work on this. Business ventures, we need to ensure that we are making money as a union, collaborating with other what? With other entities, private entities, to ensure that the union is running smoothly. So that is one of the things that I would wish to do. And lastly, the other thing is participation in Miss Zusa. We have models here. It is not all about a title. No, she's Miss KMU, it's Mr. Zusa. We need to expose these people. They should go there. Okay, imagine they go there, they participate, and she happens to win. We've not just won, but we've put our score on the what? On the map. That's why in my vision I said we need to make this Kapasa Makasa recognized. Because Kapasa Makasa, I see it to be one of the blessed institutions for the fact that the first Republican president of Zambia was born from here in Chinsari. The fourth Republican president, Dr. Michael Chirufya was born in what? In Impika. Omushindo. These are men, freedom fighters. Simon Masaka Pwepo, second acting vice president here, yeah, was born from here. So this university is supposed to be recognized and is supposed to be respected for the fact that most of the prominent figures are coming from here. So we need a lot. We need a lot of change. Continuation of this student center that we've done must also continue. It's not all about academics. So we ensure that the student center is extended even up to that far and there. We need to ensure that the student center, with all these sitting centers that you've seen, Mr. Heinsford, they should go up to that far. We can even construct our own swimming pool if we want. We can be making money out of that. I understand we don't have the capacity, but through private-public partnerships, we can achieve that. Yeah? More people playing, these things were not in existence. We need development to continue. So those are the things that will ensure that I work on them once I'm put in office. No congestion. We need a bus for students that will be taking us to what? To town. So I will end there on the things that I would want to do, because those are some of the things that we have. Most of them we are still working on them. We are still working on them. We understand, we are aware that most of the sports discipline, they don't have professional coaches, which might also contribute to the what? To the losing, not doing performing well. Imagine you are being coached by your fellow student. Sometimes you don't even tend to respect those people. So we need also work on that. Sports equipment, netball they don't have. When you go to female football, they don't have a ball. It's not that they don't want to play, but they don't have what to use. I'm willing to participate, but there's nothing to use. So we also ensure that all these critical things are worked on. Health-wise, we need to ensure that the clinic is running 24/7. There is no lunch time. There is no lunch time to sickness. You can't choose that, no, I'll get sick around 01, so that 02, I wake up, I go. No, we don't choose. So clinic will ensure that it is working 24/7. Those are the things that we need to do what? We work on. And the other thing, and not the lastly but not the least, is on the water supply. Water supply and also the living situation on our campus. Fridges are not working. But we pay for this as far as I'm concerned. 6,800 kwacha is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Fridges must be working. Even geysers can work. Why were they implementing them if they know they cannot maintain them? These things must be working. Those people implemented them. They understood to say they are there to do what? To help this, the sustainability of what? Of the students. All these things will ensure that once we are put in office, we work on them and they become what? Success. Because I understand that I'm a leader who believes in vision. And the vision with what? With action. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Carestone Mupaile. We have come to the end of our discussion, our interview. So, is there something that you would like to tell the student community, our listeners and viewers?
Um, um, uh, what I would love to share with the students out there is unity. Fellow students, we are leaders who will be serving you, but it's not all about the position. It doesn't require someone to work to have a position for him or her to do what? To work. So we need unity. Let's unite to develop this Kapasa Makasa University. We need to unite. Let's put our vision together, support my vision that I have, so that Kapasa Makasa is recognized. This is the only university that we have here in Chinsari. This is the only university that we have in Muchinga, the only university in the northern Zambia, which is a blessing. Okay, if you go to Burkina Faso, they got independence on the 15th August 1960. We are hearing about it because of what? One person, Ibrahim Traore. So we need to ensure that we unite. We are not different from UNZA. The students at UNZA, they are the same students that we have here. So it will take unit, collaboration, and also support from the students. So I invite you, as I work on hand in hand to implement my vision. Please, we need your support. Thank you very much for your time.
All right. So thank you so much, Honorable Mupaile, for joining me conduct this interview. So it was very nice being with you this afternoon.
Sure.
From your host, Heinsford, it's bye bye, KMU TV.